Hello guys, today's video is just to be about how to how to download the UTM and how to install new virtual machines into your system by using UTM. The idea of the UTM is just because UTM is the better source that you can use to be able to install different virtual machines, and you can have a gallery of the different operating systems that you can install. And the difference in between this software and the others is that this one is supporting ARM, which is the new chips from Mac M1 and M2. So the best idea that you can do is just download the ISO from the image that you want to do. In this case, we are gonna do Kali. So you can click on Kali, you can click on Guide, and you can click on Kali Installer, and it's gonna do the job for you. I already have it installed, so it's the same for UTM. I have the latest version of UTM, and one of the first steps that you have to do is you have to click on Create and Virtualize. Click on Linux. We are gonna select the ISO image. Here I have all the different files. Let's look up for Kali Linux. I have the Kali Linux image. I will click Continue. We click next, and I'm gonna call it Kali 03 because I already have other two different virtual machines. Gonna click Save. We're gonna click on these options here in the corner, and that is gonna give us all of these different options in here. We can select the icon for Kali. We can also select the display, and no display. We can delete this one. We're gonna click on Serial, and we are gonna choose a different display. And the emulated display that we want, it can be either this one in here, Virtual RAM FV, or Virtual GPU PCI. Whatever of the one of this is gonna help. If you select the default one, what is going to happen is that you're going to end up with a black screen at the end, and the black screen, you're not going to be able to pass it along, and you're not going to be able to get it off, and you're just going to get a black screen, and which is a bad thing. This is how it's working right now, and I found a solution. I was doing multiple different testing, and this is the way that I solved the issue. So I click on Save. So now, just to double check, I have my serial, I have my display, I click Save. Now I have my ISO image in here. So now we have to click on Run, and it's gonna bring two different windows. The first one is gonna try to use just for the image, and the other one is just basically like your terminal. We are gonna be using the terminal. We are gonna be doing install, no graphical install, because if we do the graphical install, it's gonna happen the same thing as before. We are just gonna have the black screen and nothing is gonna happen. So let's click on install. It's just gonna start. It's gonna tell you that you have an invalid arguments, but you just have to wait, and it's just gonna do it for you. We want English, United States, American English. The host name is gonna be the default. We don't need a domain name. For my name, I'm just gonna be using a Haro. Username is gonna be the same, and for password, I'm just gonna do password. Of course, you can change the password if you want. You don't have to follow the same thing. I'm gonna install it in the Eastern time zone. We wanted the guided use the entire disk. We are the following options: all files in one partition, then finish partitioning, and we are just gonna change it to yes. And now we just have to wait in here. As soon as we wait in here, we'll have to follow the next things, and it's just gonna install all the different packaging. But we will come back to this and just making sure that we can help you to set up this correctly. Okay, so now Now, one of the crazy parts for UTM, one of the bugs that they have is that if you install any software right now, it's gonna create an issue in the package, and it's not gonna let you do anything. So the first thing that I would recommend is to delete anything. You don't want to install anything. We just want to click continue because, of course, since we are gonna have Kali Linux, we can do any software installation at any time. So we don't need to install anything by default right now. Now that we have that everything is ready, as you can see here, the installation has been complete. The only thing that we have to left or delete or eject or erase, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna delete the ISO image to make sure that at the time that it restarts or reboot, is not gonna start with the same presentation that is gonna try to install Linux again. So we are clicking here one more time in this icon, clicking here, click eject, and now as you can see, we don't have any ISO image in here. So now we can click on continue, and then it's gonna reboot. And the thing is that you're gonna be able to see in here, and we have just to wait, and it's gonna prompt the Kali Linux image as expected. So now, to make sure that we do the installation from the terminal, we can log in here. We can say hello. I will do password. Now it prompts my Kali terminal. So now in here, one of the commands that I'm gonna try to run. I put in my solution in here on GitHub, but I will post this link as well in here. So just to make sure that we are in the same page, we get back in here. And let me bring back this page. So now we are gonna type sudo update. And you know what? We can close the machine, and we can do that from here. So if we can see it in here, it's gonna be Haro. I felt because I typed it in something wrong. So it's gonna be hey Haro password, and then it's gonna give me my terminal. As you can see on the terminal, it's gonna give me a blue. It's gonna give me a blue, kind of like purplish color on the name of my terminal. And then the thing that I'm gonna do is sudo apt update. I'm gonna do password one more time. I'm gonna do the update. Then the important thing in here is that we are gonna be using sudo apt. We are gonna try to install the desktop version. So we have to do sudo apt install dash y, just to accept anything that is gonna from the terminal, and it's gonna be Kali desktop TDI. So we run it, and it's gonna take a little bit longer just because it's gonna install everything that needs to install. It's gonna bring all the dependencies and all the different type of software that needs to be downloaded into the virtual machine to make sure that it's gonna prompt the installation properly. And this one is gonna fill it out until 100% from 0 to 100. So we have to just wait, and I should be back with you as soon as this is done. So now that it's been installed, this is the first command that we run, and just to make sure that it's gonna stick with the same one, and to make sure that we make it as a default, I have posted in my GitHub repository is kind of like a possible solution that we can have. And let's see, we are gonna run this command, which is gonna be called sudo update alternatives / config x session manager. ask me for the password one more time. We do in my password. We do 0 because we want to do it in auto mode. And now that it's done, we are ready for reinstalling the machine. But the other thing that we have to delete from that specific machine is that we have to stop the machine. And well, we restart it first just to make sure that it's working as expected, and then we can delete the terminal. So in this screen, I'm just gonna say Kali Linux, and it should start my window. And now, as you can see here, I have my window for Kali Linux. Password, and it's just gonna open. And since it's just the KDI that we are using, this is how it's gonna look. So now we have Firefox, we have the terminal from Kali Linux, and this is all. The only last thing that we have to do is come back in here, and we have to stop the machine. We are gonna click in here, and we are gonna delete the serial. The serial is just the built-in terminal, so we remove it. We click on save, and now we can run the machine one more time. And now, as you can see, it's not gonna populate any terminal. It's just gonna open the main menu. So we clicking one more time. Now it's gonna open it bigger, and now we have one more time Kali Linux. So this is all for today. I hope you're having fun installing virtual machines on your computer. You can try multiple different virtual machines and see what it does. If you have any issues, feel free to reach out and or leave any comments below. And I hope you're gonna like it. And if you like it, just subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna keep posting more advice of how to solve issues with software development. Thank you and have a great day.